This playthrough is rated E for everyone. It's time to solve the mystery of the mummy. Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare here with the final level in the finale of Sherlock Holmes and the Mystery of the Mummy. In the last episode, we escaped up from our tomb from the explosion, and we're able to, well, apparently find Montcalf. So apparently he's still alive and well. I guess people thought he was dead, but now he's alive, and
My mansion will be blown up.
And yeah, unfortunately, we were about to be blown up. So there is a timer here, but it goes down really slow. I forgot what the actual time is. I think it's like an hour or something like that before it actually depletes. So you got plenty of time to mess around if you're curious about
I
it.
can't open this door. The shelves that fell down on the other side are blocking it.
Yeah, so there was like a explosion. The solvent, the clock actually started up the bomb. And so now we have to solve this thing before we can go home and solve this mystery. Hopefully you found all the clues, viewers. If you go down the stairs, as it currently is, you just straight up die. There's no like unique dialogue or unique death animation or anything like that, so you can ignore it. But yeah, if you go down as is, you die. So ignore that.
This door was probably locked from the outside by the intruder.
Oh yeah, a random gun got in here, and it dropped. Why would a mummy need a gun?
Let's check if any evidence has been left.
Let's see. Oh, hello, fingerprints. Wait, a mummy shouldn't have skin.
Well, well, well. The mummy has skin on its fingers.
Yeah, or the skin is a mummy would either have bandages, or the skin would be so dry it probably wouldn't be able to get the fingerprints anymore, or something like that. But so it's actually shot by an actual person. So, anyway, let's continue. We basically just want to go down. I don't think there's really much to really explore. I think it's because, or like extra stuff. I think it's because of the timer. So and there's this particular puzzle that might take a good deal of your time on this one. But anyway, a book out of place. Must OCD must fix. Oh, well, I guess my OCD made this a lot easier.
The mummy is trying to kill us.
Alright, I'm going to click on here, but it's going to be really loud, so I'm not going to talk during it because of just how loud it is as accordance to the volume, so. Okay, yeah, I didn't want to talk because that is ridiculously loud for what it is, so. But now the dialogue doesn't change much if you do this ahead of time. So
this machine is producing electricity from the steam of this boiler and rotation of this fan. It is inspired by Faraday.
Yeah, magnets, a man's best friend. So what you do is you grab the shovel, shovel out the coal there, and then turn the lever, and that shuts it off. So it's a bit of weird magnetic steam technology or something like that. So I guess it could be possible. So the things to do with magnets, viewers. But that's it for that's what was powering the electric fence. You know what they say? Don't whiz on the electric fence, viewers.
This is the end. We're all going to die.
Well, not with that attitude. Well, actually, with that attitude, we're all going to die. So perhaps you should calm yourself, Mr. Montcalf. Holmes is on the case. So. Wow, you know, in future games, this is going to become something of a weird regularity, the creepy person staring at us in the background. You'll know what I'm talking about if I ever get to, which game is it that has that? It's not the Arsene Lupin one, is it? It might be the one before that. Anyway, I'll mention that if I ever get to that game. We'll see. Anyway, ladder here. Well, how are we going to grab it? We can't fit it in our pockets. Apparently we can. Yeah, we just fit a ladder in our pocket. Okay. Well then. Alright, well I know where I need to go, but I'm just checking to see if there's any extra interactions outside of the obvious stuff. And yeah, this was the clue to get the 2 scepters for the one statue earlier in level 2, was it? Or level 3 or whatever? I think it was level 2. I've slept since then. Okay. Yeah, we just need to, we need to actually get up here. I don't know why, just that the game tells us to because of the whole, using the, because it says to with the interaction, the one key. But we can go in here if we wanted to, but let's go here first. Actually, we're probably supposed to explore around and then come back in here and go, oh, this ladder needs to be used here or something like that, but... Alright, let's go up. And a lot of books here, but, oh, hello. Haha! What's this?
A pipette.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, a pipette is like where you can pip oil and stuff like that into. You just squeeze it and oil comes out the end, so... Little... Yeah. Alfred Nobel's Dynamite Production Company, Dynamite User, 2nd edition. Printed Laurel, Paris, 1878. It's basically dynamite for dummies, for all intents and purposes. Receipt, number 254, 321. For explosive materials, dynamite production equipment. So this is, so whoever set this up needed, set it up for the explosions that's about to occur. So we're gonna, so someone's been dealing with dynamite. So obviously a mummy is not gonna deal with dynamite, so. Alright, let's go in here. Yeah, remember this place, the study? It's since level 1. Yeah, we finally back in here. Now we see what the place looks like after the explosion. Man, this mansion, man. No one's going to want to live in this thing, or if they do, they're going to have to get a heavy discount on this place, so. Now, let's grab that, the candle, because why not? There's the device from before they opened the door, but I guess it's permanently open now, so. Because wasn't it locked originally? I guess the explosion must have jostled it up or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, don't be afraid to like mess around or look around for a bit. Like I said, it gives you like I swear it's like an hour or something like that that the game gives you to. I mean, if you're worried, maybe save in between each room. So I'm not sure what note this is supposed to be. I think it's from level 1. It might be a glitch because yeah, there's no note here. It might have been from level 1. Sorry about that cut. I had a technical issue. So, but anyway, let's keep exploring. Yeah, that happens a lot with this game. So. Not so much a crash, but something else, but still. That's the problem with emulating some of these old PC games. They're probably the worst when it comes to working as emulating old PC stuff, because they have a different set of requirements for playing than old console games do. You know, because you have a single system, and that game will always work for that system. For PC, they're always upgraded, so it's like, well, which version, which PC, which version, which graphic cards it works, you know, which Sound Blaster, you know.
This puzzle looks promising, but I don't have enough squares.
No, this is the puzzle I'm talking about. We can't solve it yet, but because we don't have the squares. I'll go over that when we get to it. It's an interesting puzzle the way it works. But anyway, all right. Yeah, we're back in here. Remember this place from a while back? So yeah, now it's all the everything's been knocked over, as you can see. Yeah, I like the fact that they actually let you go back to the old rooms and see like what the damage was from before. So yeah, glass broken, everything reset. Ooh, we can interact with that lamp. Remember that for later. Oh, hello. A trap door and a lever, but I can't do anything with it. I'll have to come back to that later. Now, how was I supposed to know that? Just pixel hunting, really, for all intents and purposes. Alright. Yeah, really, I'm just more or less looking at everything. There's not a whole lot of stuff to actually straight up explore, you know, or examine, you know.
Everything is locked. There must be a way to open them.
Well, since we don't have any hairpins, we're going to have to find something else, like this. Yeah, remember that ancient dagger he mentioned a long time ago? Well, now we can do something with it. Alright, just seeing if there's...
Well, it looks like there's something in this pedestal.
Well, let's see what's inside of it. Alright, grabbed whatever it was, so let's take a look. Oops. Let's see, it was... grab the... it was this batcher here, so that was stuck inside of it. Whatever that is. So, alright.
Everything is locked. There must be a way to open them.
Well, let's jimmy it open. Well, or just break it. Anyway, what do we get? A bunch of white squares. Interesting. I didn't expect that. No. White squares, what does that have to do with anything? Well, anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, this place is a mess. This is going to be a heck to clean up later, I'll tell you what. Yeah, this is where the mummy was. Yeah, I forgot to mention the first level that if you check back here after seeing the mummy, that one room, he says, this is the mummy that came upon me.
Everything is locked. There must be a way to open them.
There we go, more squares. Now we got, oops, keep pressing the wrong one. Now we got a bunch of white squares and black squares. So, what are we gonna play, Othello or something like that, or a Go? Well, they usually use round things, not circles, but still. Let's see.
The chandelier is blocking the way from the other side.
Yeah, can't go in that way. So.
An almost empty oil flask.
Oil can. Oil can.
Where is the mummy which was here?
Yeah, they're running around. So I think someone's wearing a brand new mummy suit, is what I'm thinking of. But
everything is locked. There must be a way to open them.
I actually don't need to open this one because there's nothing inside. We already got all. We actually already found everything we need from the things, but I'm doing it anyway just because I like.
This axe is very sharp and heavy.
Just because I like breaking stuff, because no one's gonna get mad at me, right? No one's here to know what I'm doing. It could have been this. It could have been explosion that did all this. But anyway, yeah, nothing here as well. Yeah, let's see. Oop. Nothing. Okay. Yeah, looks like everything's been tipped over. Looks like some brand of hooligans just didn't want things to look nice, so they just went, yeah, just tipped it. Yeah.
This cupboard is locked. How can I open it?
Now this one I do need to open. Same thing, more black squares.
Let's take this little bowl anyway.
I think it's technically a cup. Yeah, even though he calls it a bowl, the game calls it a cup. So which one is it, Mr. Holmes? Huh? Can you deduce that? I don't think so. That means I'm smarter than you. I'm smarter than Holmes. No. Well, Holmes was obviously, I wouldn't say he was a Gary Stu per se, but he's one of those guys that pretty much knew all the solutions pretty easily. I mean, a lot of detective shows and characters are based off his concept. Some try to like add a little bit more to it than just knowing everything. It's like that episode of an old lamp, I believe. Yeah, old lamp. Yeah, I think we saw this a while back. So, all right, nothing. And unfortunately, a lot of this stuff you can't interact with anymore. So, oh well. Yeah, there was all the mentions of Set and Thoth and all that other stuff, and Anubis. And yeah, we can't go this way because it's, well, nothing in there. So, all right. And there's the hieroglyphs again.
This door is closed, but I will find nothing there.
That was the room with the cabinet and basically the extra stuff. So, all right, I think we've got everything, at least currently, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, so we can go back, I think. So, like I said, no major rush here. So, let's see, we got the axe, we got that. So. Actually, I think I'm missing. Hold on. No, never mind. I got it. So. Okay, so let's head back to here. And the study, since we got all the squares. Alright, let's go ahead and save it really quick. Okay, we'll save it over this file. Okay, so we're gonna solve the longest riddle in the game.
Let's do it.
Okay, so depending on which version of this game you've got, you may be able to just solve this without even doing anything. If you click, like I said, my version unfortunately isn't like this, but if you have like maybe the original version or maybe the DS version, I'm not sure. One way to solve this puzzle is to just click somewhere off on the puzzle, and it should start autofilling itself. And then it's until a block is done, and then you just change one of the blocks back to a different color and back, and you'll have the solution to this. However, in my version, I can't do that, so I have to do it the long way. So the way this works, let me look at the explanation someone wrote down for me, because this is called a logic art puzzle. It was really popular in like puzzle magazines from a long time ago. So we got multiple numbers here on the top and bottom here. The numbers tell you how many of the spaces and how many in a row and column are filled in. For example, if the number next to the row is 25, there will be a long row of 25 squares filled in. If there are two or more numbers like 13, 4, 4, kind of like a situation like this. Then there will be one string of 13 in a row, and 2 more of 14 and 4, always with at least one unfilled square in between them. The strategy of the game is to work logically from what you know and what you don't know. If there are 25 squares in a row and the number of sides of the row is 20, first count from the beginning of the row until you reach the 20th square. That is the limit that it could be to the left. Then do the same with the right. All the overlapping squares definitely have to be filled in. In this case, we would have 15 squares in the middle filled in. From there, we can look at a column and use one of those filled-in squares to extrapolate some of what can and cannot be true. Again, if the column have 25 squares apiece and the only number is 8, then the filled-in square cannot stray more than 7 from that one we already filled in, and so forth. So, this is the one that'll take the longest time. Now, the only clue, I mean, other than just filling it in the numbers, because obviously, well, I didn't have these growing up, so I didn't actually have puzzle magazines. Maybe my granddad did or something like that. He kind of liked puzzles to a certain extent, not a crazy amount. He was more of a he was a really big fan of detective novels and stuff like that. He has like a lot of old detective novels, whether they're good or bad. It doesn't really matter. He just liked having them in the first place. So we need to take these squares and fill out the pieces of this map. So I know a couple of them already. But yeah, you see 26 here, and then you see like on the top here it says 343. So these numbers that are down are going to be different colors as opposed to this one. So, all right, let me reset the thing. So I need to fill this up to, I think, oops, right there. So I didn't make that. That was white. I'll try to fill out all the colors and kind of give you a general idea. But I pretty much explained how it goes. Now it's just following our rules until we actually get to the ones we want. So, whoops, didn't mean to do that. I might make little mistakes like that every once in a while, so you'll have to forgive me. All right, the rest of these are going to be black as well. I'm not sure what the really best strategy to start with is. Maybe start from like the top or bottom and go from there. Other than obviously the obvious solution, it'll form a picture. That's what we're trying to do. Here throughout this whole situation. So that's 1, 2, 3. I know I'm purposely messing up here because I don't want to solve it right. Well, I mean, I'm not solving it right this second, but what I mean, I'm purposely making one of these wrong on purpose to so that way I don't solve it like by accident by completely filling it in and going, ugh, that's it, you know, that type of thing. So, oops. Let's see, I think it's up to here. Yeah, up to here I can fill it up. Yeah, this will take me the longest actually to do. Luckily, there's not a lot of noise that appears when we do this, so it's not like click, 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 kind of like the sliding puzzle from before. That one was kind of annoying. Let's see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Like I said, it's just really just. I think all these are straight white now. Yeah, these are all white, so I can just kind of fill this in as we go. Make sure not to accidentally back out, otherwise you have to do this all over again. That's why you probably want to save before this if you take a while trying to figure out this puzzle. Really, the best way to do it is maybe, well, depending on how you were playing this back in the day. If you're playing this on an old original computer and didn't have modern technology, you really just have to kind of make a save here, study it, and then reload the save and do that all over again, that type of thing. And then and that's how solving the puzzle within the time limit. But like I said, this gives you like an hour or something like that to do it. So let's see. Whoops. 4, 5, 6, I believe. And then the rest of those up are white. I might make a mini mistake maybe every once in a while. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe it's 5, yeah. And then white. 2, 2, 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to make this really from a commentary perspective, I'm actually kind of not sure how to really go any further into explanation. I've pretty much said what the explanation is. After that, it's a case of like just solving the puzzle really. After that, so you probably can already tell at this point. You can probably tell what the picture is, but I won't say anything until we actually get pretty far along, and then you'll be like, oh, I see it. Kind of like those one puzzles where you cross your eyes and you're like, I see it. I see the sailboat. Hooray! The sailboat has been seen. Let's see. One more. There. And then down. I think it's 2 spots. I'll have to take a double check on my nets here. Yeah, it's this spot, so we're fine here. So we're getting there. Yeah, this is just fill in the puzzle or fill in the boxes, viewers. Just have fun filling in all the squares. You know, it's like those color booklets and stuff like that. You know. Let's see, 3 there, and 1 there, and then let's see. Do. And then this, one of them's weird. Which this one, the 2 in the middle there. This one's one of the more stranger ones because it's just randomly. Let's see. I think it's this spot there. I think I filled up all the white ones already, except for. Yeah, I think so. I think the rest of them are black. I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. As long as I don't accidentally like hit a white one. That's why I'm being a bit more careful. That way I don't accidentally hit that. And then, you know, you do that whole thing where you mess up one little thing and you're taking forever to figure out what the thing you missed was. And it's because you purposely, or you accidentally hit one, you didn't notice it at the time. And this is him just filling in squares. So he's got a ticking time bomb off in the distance happening. He's just going do, playing with squares. Like this little square is Bob, and this little square is for Jimmy. Yeah, just hear Sherlock Holmes talking like a little kid or something like that. Yeah. Have you seen it, viewers? Do you see what I see? Do you see? Do you see? You probably already see, or you probably already guessed what it is. But yeah, I guess in some version of this game, there's an autofill function for this puzzle for those who had trouble figuring this one out. Like I said, if you were a fan of puzzles, you're probably aware of this type of puzzle. But I didn't grow up with this one, so this is one of those puzzles that, at first, I didn't actually know how to solve it when I played this as a kid. Because, like I said, I like puzzles, but I'm not good at them. Not really. That's always a weird thing when you like something, but you're actually not very good at it. You just like doing it or trying to figure out. Kind of like me in strategy RPGs. I'm not good at them. I like playing them, but I'm not good at them. Yeah, I'm just trying not to accidentally hit a white one by accident. I mean, you could fix it. It's just, you know. Yeah, and look how much time I still have left. I kind of want to show the death, what happens if you wait, but I'll have to add that later, like maybe at the end of the episode or maybe right before we finish it. I'll just tack on what happens when you fail because of like how long it takes to solve it. But anyway, the final box is here.
It is obvious.
Yeah, if you didn't already figure it out, it's a picture of Sherlock Holmes in a silhouette. So, after we solve that, we get a lever here. So, I mean, it's a fun well, I guess fun is subjective. It's an interesting puzzle for what it is. And figuring out what, you know, by the numbers on the side and which go where, like what you need to do to solve it. It's pretty, I think it's kind of cool. Just like I said, people don't, I don't, actually, is that puzzle still a thing anymore? Like those types of puzzles? I know there's probably still puzzle magazines and stuff like that, but, oh yeah, let me save it again after that. Mainly in case it crashes. That's really all I'm worried about. So let's take that lever and pull it. Alright, now we have to go back into... I don't think the... Yeah, I can't interact with that anymore, so... Alright, let's go back into the one room. I think it's the Egyptian Gods Room is what it's called. Yeah, see, there it is down there.
Interesting. Well, it's too dark here.
Yeah, I can't see inside, so let's save it again. Alright, so now we need to make a light source. So what we need to do is we need to put the oil into the lamp there, but we don't have a set of matches to turn it on. So what we need to do is go back to the Epiphaeus room or whatever. And yeah, remember that one lamp we could interact with? Yep, now we got a light source. And I guess because there's no, since we already have the timer of the bomb, the whole light source is already permanently on, so we don't have to worry about dealing with that timer too. It's really the bomb timer is what we have to worry about. So, okay, yep, we're back in the storage area again, as you can tell. Although it already looked bad to begin with from being ransacked, so really the explosion didn't really add much to this situation, as you can see. I think there's some stuff that's slightly different, but not by much. Alright, but anyway, we have to grab this. I think that's the only thing actually I need to grab. Alright, let's go into the lab area. Now, like I said, if I'm missing anything, like in terms of descriptions, I do apologize. Like I said, I don't know where every single description, but I think at the end of the game, I think because of the whole bomb thing, I think they put the description parts to a minimum, and so they're like, yeah, just go and try to solve the bomb thing. Well, it's okay, that's fine. And yeah, there's the doorway to the...
Impossible to push this door.
That's the door to the rotation room, by the way. We were there in level 4, and level 3, of course. Alright, let's grab... And here's where all the gadgets were. No inspector gadget, though. And let's see, anything else we can enter? Yeah, we grabbed a box there, by the way. Alright.
There's nothing to do there.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, can't go nothing in that way. Alright, now another place to save your game. Alright. And well, actually, I'll... Hold on. We'll save it because there's a cutscene here just in case your game crashes. But 2, this is the final puzzle of the game, so...
Here it is, the infernal bomb.
Okay, so basically what we have here is a failure to communicate. No, there's a bomb here, so... It's a bomb.
This container is too firmly attached to be unlocked. Falling on the bomb, it lights the fuse for the dynamite and sets off the explosion.
And there is a unique animation for what happens if this explodes. The thing is, though, if you beat the game, you get a quick glimpse of what the animatic is without actually seeing it. Because, like I said, you'd really have to, like, really waste your time to have that thing. Like I said, it's probably like an hour or so that the game gives you. And it might be less than that, but I haven't actually timed it myself. Yeah, see, like it... it's like a seat, you can see it's steam powered, so eventually when the pressure builds, pushes that enough, and then, you know, Rube Goldberg machine and all that fun stuff, then it tips, at some point it tips it over, it tips, like, I don't know if he ever straight up says, it's like really hot, like, not magma, you know, like something really hot in there, and it drops on it to light the, actually, probably more to just straight up dissolve itself, like maybe a type of acid, dissolve through the dynamite and just explode. Or to and obviously activate it at the same time.
This handle moves in a regular manner and will soon put burning oil right above the dynamite.
Okay, I guess it's just burning oil. I thought it was something a bit more complicated than that. So
this handle moves in a regular manner and will soon put burning oil right above the dynamite.
And really solving it is, if you've grabbed all the items I have, we have the solution for this already. So
this high-pressure boiler is a clock bomb, but I can't stop it.
I can't stop it. Well, I mean, we're going to stop it, just not in the obvious way. So we got a thing we can interact here, and we've also got this box we can interact with as well. So we're also going to make our own Rube Goldberg machine type of situation. So put the box here, and then we're going to put this batcher. This is like a leveler, or, well, I mean, I'll show you here in a second. So yeah, see the whole scale situation thing where you can weigh stuff on it. So basically what we need to do is we also need to even it out. So we need to put the cup here.
It's almost ready.
Except it's not. I still have like 5 more steps to go through or something like that, so. Let's see. We need to put the pipet up here.
It's almost ready.
Because what we're going to do is we're going to put the cup here. We're going to set it to where the pipet pours stuff into this. And then we need something over here that'll lighten its load, so that way this pours into that, if that makes sense. So let's put a candle on that.
It's almost ready.
All right, and then we need to put a way to cut this thing. Oh, whoops, I forgot to combine it. Need to combine the axe and the rope to form Voltron. No, axe rope, or whatever you want to call it, even though all it just says is axe.
It's almost ready.
Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to basically, I guess maybe because the machine's too hot, we can't like straight up just bash it to break it, because that's all you'd have to do. Couldn't we just do it with the axe? But apparently we had to do it through some Rube Goldberg machine to do it. Maybe the idea is if we bust it, the steam won't burn us alive. That's probably the case. That makes sense, actually. So, all right, and then after that, all we have to do, so I'm going to make one more save. Let's finish this thing. So what we need to do is light this candle, and we're done with this. So, all right. So when we light the candle, we'll be done with the game. So be prepared for a long cutscene and some glitchy sound work. Whether it be from the actual game itself or it's because of the emulation, I'm not sure, but that's just how it is. And watch as Holmes puts together all the pieces. I'll talk during the credits, but I'm not sure if this ending changes at all if you didn't grab all the random puzzles that I've been grabbing, like stuff I've been grabbing, like this cloth here did you notice that the bandages aren't required? This isn't required. This isn't required. This Elizabeth thing. Then there's like notes. Yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to be. Like I said, it's a glitch or something like that. But anyway, like all the notes that we've been grabbing, like this is like it can be missed. For example, a lot of these notes can actually be missed if you haven't been grabbing stuff or paying attention. But I don't think there's an alternate ending. I think you just somehow put it all together, even if you miss all the clues, like the gun having fingerprints and stuff like that. Now, probably asking you viewers, who do you think the mummy is, and who is the criminal in this whole situation? I mean, obviously Jonathan did some bad things, but you can tell that it's not just him throughout this whole thing. We are about to be amazed and surprised, and Holmes will put it all together, and he'll explain it to you, or someone else will if you don't figure it out. If you didn't figure it out, that's fine. That's the whole point of these murder mysteries. But anyway, let's light this and let's get out of here.
And now let's hide somewhere.
And it resets. Oh, I guess this one's time too. Okay, never mind. I guess I could show this off. Let's I mean, I don't need these old saves anymore, so yeah, I'll just show it off since I saved already. So I forgot you could blow up here too, so. Alright, that's how you fail. So yeah, boom, one explosion. So there goes the inglorious Mr. Holmes. Alright, boom, one explosion. So yeah, that's what happens to Mr. Holmes here. So alright, anyway, let's light this thing and go home. So
And now let's hide somewhere.
And hide by just leave.
Welcome, sirs. Our party is complete.
My dear Holmes, I've just spared you a lot of unnecessary investigations. Lord Montcalf never killed himself. He was murdered by his cousin, Jonathan Parker.
I had the chance to escape the same destiny. Would you be so kind as to tell me how you deduced it?
Oh, yes, well, I think you'll be surprised. After reading the message you sent to me explaining your absence, I made an inquiry on my side. I remember the well-known scientist, Lord Montcalf, and his shady case, an unsolved robbery in which one of his cousins was involved. To tell you the truth, this man was not very honest. The police had quite a black record on him. After returning home, I found a letter. At first, I thought it was yours, but in fact, it was not signed by anybody. However, it confirmed all of my suspicions. Here, have a look. I know that you are looking for truth in the disappearance of Lord Montcalf. The last mentioned was murdered by his cousin, Jonathan Parquet. You'll find the body of the deceased in his own manor, under the bandages of Kay Parseth, mummy, and the guilty one on the place of crime, probably pillaging his uncle's collection.
Yes, quite an interesting study. I'm ready to reveal the mummy, but before I do, it's necessary to ask its master. Let me introduce you to Lord Montcalf.
What does that mean?
My dear Watson, your suspicions were not completely groundless. The only difference was that Lord Montcalf was never going to die. That is, really.
But why on earth not?
Father? Good heavens!
Here is his daughter. What a coincidence, isn't it? Let me just run over the course of events, and you can contradict me if I go wrong. My charming soon-to-be cousin has asked me to investigate the disappearance of her father. For this reason, she invited me to study the mansion. In fact, the idea was much deeper. I'm very thankful to you, miss. I now have the evidence that the mummies can walk. Watson, do you know how mummies were made in Egypt?
Oh, indeed I do. They used bandages and balm. Can you explain what this joke is all about?
Do you believe in ghosts, Watson?
Of course not.
Although they are really useful to move away the intruders. Jonathan Parquet didn't notice that and has lost his life.
Is he dead?
Indeed, Watson. Killed by the mummy.
Oh, come on, Holmes. You're joking.
It has nothing to do with jokes. This manor that had to be empty was the meeting place for the whole family. A mummy, a lord, his cousin, his daughter, and your servant. All of them trying to kill each other. A charming company, in short. I think Miss Montcalf has lost a shred of her dress there, while Lord Montcalf, the most dead among us, is safe and sound.
What are you trying to say?
Dear cousin, I doubt that the mummy exists. In fact, if it had tried to kill Lord Montcalf, it would not have left human fingerprints on the gun as it has done. By the way, I'm obliged to say that it was you who fired that gun. Your hand still has traces of the powder.
Miss Montcalf dressed up as a mummy?
This child loves so much her father that she decided to follow in his footsteps, and her father refusing his daughter's vacation.
Oh, here is a sad case of murder indeed. Then why was there a need for your services? To make you guilty? Who would believe it?
I thank you for your confidence, Watson, but Elizabeth didn't know her father was alive. Rather, she was looking for 4 statuettes he possessed. To find out the cause of death, I would have inevitably found these statuettes, which he had hidden in the manor. The only thing left was to kill me, and it was Jonathan's task, the cousin, and it was an easy task for him.
Elizabeth and Jonathan? In a plot to kill and steal?
There are families where a murder doesn't mean anything. Lord Montcalf is not so innocent in this case. He was not content with making everyone believe in his suicide. He filled his manor with deadly traps, and he hid in his caves the most valuable archaeological pieces that he saves for his own private use. He's ready to kill to protect them.
What stupidities! You're just a desecrator who's not even capable of understanding the priceless value of these pieces.
However, I have never wished for their destruction.
Nonsense! I know that you're taking me for an old fool. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, but I'm the only one here who really has his head on his shoulders.
Do you think I didn't understand the meaning of this bloody ballet around the statuette? I understand your distress as you realize the combination of the 5 statuettes that you hold could free the evil forces, but you have already taken a gruesome way to death. You believe in reincarnation, then. Why not in immortality? Your paranoia has taken you into delusion, and your doctor's treatment has confused your judgment up to the point of disguising yourself as a living mummy and committing a murder.
How can you make such accusations, and how can you believe such absurdities?
Indeed, I don't believe at all in the power of these statuettes, as I don't believe in stories about curses, but I know a sect whose members were ready to kill to get them back. One of the executors was Parquet.
Scoundrel!
But their leader is Elizabeth Montcalf. Lord Montcalf understood that, and in his madness he was divided into 2, into a living mummy to commit the thing that was against his blood instinct, to destroy his daughter.
What a tragedy.
Human nature, Dr. Watson. You should see that every day in your patients and your vacations. Tell me, Madam Watson, did she have a good rest?
Oh, yes, but keep in mind that these vacations were shortened by a strange case, which began with some strange noise.
And that's it. The game ends like with them talking about something like that, and the game ends. So thank you, Frogwares Ukraine, for the mystery of the mummy. Yeah, probably one of the weaker entries in the series overall. I enjoyed my time as on it, and yeah, this game only had like a handful of people on it. So, what can I say? Overall, the story of the game wasn't bad. It was ancient Egypt and all that's always interesting to learn about. The controls were a bit weird at times. And a little bit odd. That may have been because of the system or whatever. So it was a little annoying to go pixel. Yeah, that's it for the credits, by the way. That's it, because only a handful of people worked on this. Because it only took a couple hours to beat. So, but yeah, movement was a little bit janky. And I don't know if I completely blame my computer or the system, but overall it was a bit annoying. And there was a bit of pixel hunting, I'll admit, which made it a bit annoying. So that made it a bit harder. Voice acting obviously wasn't that great. You could tell they didn't try too hard. I mean, it was probably Ukrainians doing the voices or something like that. I wish they had got. I mean, obviously, if this were made today, they'd probably give the actors more British sounding voices and stuff like that to make it a bit more actual. Yeah, it's more laughable at best, I guess, if that's the word I'd put on it. And obviously, the sound. For the most part, the sound wasn't too bad, but obviously during the last cutscene where all the yeah, like for the most part, sound worked pretty well. It was that final cutscene where there was like you could hear the cracks in the voice and everything like that. And I think that was in the original game too. So I don't know what happened. Maybe they had to rush it out or something like that at the final bit. So that was a little bit annoying. But overall, and then the difficulty of the game, it is difficult at times. I wish there was a bit more direction. I'm not talking about like making it hand holding, like I said, more. Like, some of the puzzles aren't obvious at all. So, like, if you're not a fan of puzzles and don't know about different types of puzzles, kind of like that art logic puzzle, one of the final ones, you know, if you didn't know anything about that, how would you even know how that works and stuff like that? So, a couple of the puzzles probably could have used a bit more explanation, maybe from from Holmes saying, okay, this could be this, or something like that. I mean, obviously, this is one of their first games in the Sherlock Holmes series, so obviously they're going to make mistakes. I'm just saying... and they kind of fix this sort of in the later versions of the game. But yeah, a little bit more maybe explanation or direction on what the puzzles meant. Like the whole Egypt thing, that was another one of those word puzzles, but it wasn't as obvious as you think it was, because I already knew about it, but you as a layman, or anyone as a layman, who would they know about that? But I mean, they were challenging in their own way, but I wouldn't say they were impossible puzzles. They were just, like I said, a little bit more direction could have helped. Like I said, when you clicked on stuff and Holmes doesn't muse to himself about what that means or whatever, stuff like that, where it's just a place where you interact with it, but that's all you get. Cutscenes, could have left most of them out. Most of them were kind of really unnecessary. I mean, the point of them was, back in the day, they were almost a reward for getting certain parts of the game. So when you got a cutscene, you're like, yes! Now every game is like a hour-long cutscene, and I kind of wish it wasn't like that, but that's more just me waffling on. And then, yeah, like I said, I wish they had more British-sounding voices and stuff like that. Overall, the game, I would give it a 5 out of 10. I think it's an average game overall from a mystery game. Has an interesting concept, but like I said, a lot of little things kind of make it from better, or making it a better game. That's why most reviews for this are mixed, and that's rightfully so. Not a god-awful game or anything like that, just like I said, middle of the road in terms of just overall views. I think... let's see if there's anything else I can really add to it. Sorry, I just had another glitch there. I don't think there's really anything else. The only other thing I could mention to you is that there's a couple of notes that we don't get till the end of the game. Whoops. Wow, I guess I could show it again. There's 2 notes that either I missed or it happens at the end of the game, and I can't really show it. But there's 2 letters I missed, and one was a newspaper. And it says, unsolved case. Scotland Yard has announced that they found a statue that was stolen during a reception at the Egyptian embassy. Everyone remembers that during the attack, a servant was killed. Moreover, this statue, a gift from Lord Montcalfe, was not available. Sir Jonathan Parkey was first accused according to the description provided by the dying servant. He provided 3 witnesses that confirmed he was playing bridge whilst the crime was being committed. The mystery stays unresolved today. So that was the whole death of Montcalf note. That might have been what was in the room, the study that I clicked, and nothing came up. And the reason I know this is from other people who either had old versions of the game or actually put information, or actually looked up this stuff. So I'm going by that information. And then the final letter was from Parquet to Lord Montcalf in London of 1890. My dear uncle, I am writing again to Soleil and ask to trade your treasure. Everybody knows that you're not feeling well. Now you're now feeling unwell, and I think that in your present state you will not be able to make the right decisions concerning the valuable artifacts you possess. I am asking you to provide me with a register, and I'll be happy to manage our family treasure. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Do not forget that no one is immortal. Yours sincerely, Jonathan Parquet. So, and like I said, I don't think that ending changes if you don't find anything. It's just like, oh, if you found that, you could source the clues to it. But like I said, I've never actually finished the game without doing that. So, yeah, what else can I say about this game? Like I said, middle of the road. I like the Sherlock Holmes games. Like I said, most of them are fun or interesting in their own game. There are a couple that are a little bit, especially the early ones, and some of the later ones too are actually kind of like mid, just because they changed the formula so much to try and make Sherlock Holmes more of an action hero or younger. I think it started with the Testament of Sherlock Holmes, or maybe right before that, where they tried to go a different direction than this version of Sherlock Holmes, the one were more iconic. They tried to make it more like either the Robert Downey Jr. version or like the later versions, where they changed it up quite a bit to not make him the stodgy detective, but more like an action mystery detective, that type of thing. So I kind of miss this old version of Sherlock Holmes. But we've got these games, and we got the old serials, we got the dramas, we got the old CD dramas, video dramas, radio dramas, the old movies, black and white movies. There's a ton of stuff on Sherlock Holmes because he's anyone can make stuff based off of him. So maybe we'll leave it there. For the first Frogwares game, a 5 out of 10, but an interesting experience nonetheless. Maybe one day we'll see what Sherlock Holmes' other adventures go to, but that'll be for another day. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next game.